Today I will be giving my honest review on the new Ant-Man and Wasp Quantimania movie. This movie just came out pretty recently and I watched it like last weekend, so this is going to be my thoughts after that. Obviously there will be spoilers in this video, so click off if you haven't seen the movie. So regardless of what you hear other people say, some people say it's awful. Like I have some of my friends who say it's like one of the worst MCU movies, like with Thor: The Dark World or Thor: Love and Thunder or Eternals. I don't think that. Is it one of the best? No, definitely not. It's not like a Spider-Man Homecoming or No Way Home or Endgame level movie for sure. But it's definitely like a solid movie. Like, it's rewatchable. It's a fun adventure to have. And it's just a good, solid movie overall, I'd say. So with that broad generalization of what I think of the movie out of the way, let's go into some more details. Parts I thought was funny, if I thought the plot was rushed, all that kind of thing. So yeah, the movie starts off, Scott is a hero, you know, Ant-Man, big thing. I don't love how it starts out, because it's a good start, don't get me wrong. It just gets really rushed as it goes in. So the solid first little narrating part's perfect. I like it. It kind of sets the scene of how Scott's been living for the past year or two, after Endgame, of course. But I just don't like how rushed it is into the quantum realm. It just feels like it should have taken like a little bit more time because they get sucked in super early. It doesn't give like any around the world kind of building, I guess, for how it feels after Endgame. With him, it's like very short, maybe 15-minute time span, and then pretty early on, they're in the quantum realm already. Once they're in the quantum realm, they get split up, of course, the basic stuff like that. I felt like there were a few funny parts at the beginning, but like, not really. It kind of got funnier as it went on, I'd say. And yeah, up until they meet Kang, it's just pretty basic stuff. It's not super important, I guess. Like, it's important, but it's not like super entertaining. It's there, you know? They dive into Hope's mom more, about her story while she was in the quantum realm, which was cool. Just not exactly what I cared about in the movie, but otherwise I think that part was fine. But then Ant-Man and Cassie get captured, and Kang does his whole threatening force choke thing like Darth Vader when they're in the prison, which I thought was pretty cool. And they had, have I killed you before? Are you the one with the hammer? And it's like, no, that's Thor. Like, that whole kind of scene was pretty cool. Kang kind of hard carried the movie, in my opinion. He was really cool. So then Ant-Man goes into the whole, I don't know what you call it, the infinite possibility room or whatever you want to call it. I forgot the name of it exactly. And he jumps in there and then he finds all the Ant-Man variants, which was pretty cool, honestly. One of my favorite jokes in the entire movie was when he was in there and it was all his cells, like hundreds of millions of them. And then there was the one Baskin-Robbins guy that was pretty funny. He's like, what are you wearing? I'm wearing my super suit. What are you wearing? This is my suit. That was pretty funny. I like that joke. And he was like in the tower when they all started going up to the giant orb. He was in the tower and he was like, Baskin-Robbins. That was pretty funny. I love the Baskin-Robbins jokes in the movie. At the beginning, that was really good too. When his owner was like shaking his hand, he's like, "You're the employee of the century" or something like that. That was pretty funny. And then they get the orb. They try and stop King. He like kind of blows them up. They survive though. They find the ants. The ant plot was kind of weird, where they went and live like 10,000 lives or whatever they said. That was a little bit weird, but at the same time it does kind of address a problem I had with the movie, and it's the time thing in the quantum realm, because quantum realm time works different than real world time, as stated by Ant-Man 2 and Endgame. So that was, I guess, kind of nice to see. It was just kind of random though to have a giant army of ants come out of some time portal. He gets taken back, I think. Hope's mom gets taken back. They're captured by Kang. So that happens. Come back and fight Kang. They do like the whole palace siege thing. Pretty good, I guess. I mean, wasn't super entertaining, but they did get MODOK. MODOK was in the movie. MODOK, he was interesting. He was a cool villain, right? Super menacing. Then he becomes a good guy when Cassie starts talking to him. That kind of was weird. He's like, I don't want to be a, and then he said a no word, but I don't really get that part. Like, I mean, he's super evil the entire movie. I don't know why he wants to be a good guy all of a sudden. My only thought is that because Kang was super mean to him and like hurt him, I guess. That could be why he wants to be against Kang. But even then, it's like, that doesn't make you want to be a hero. It just makes you want to get back at Kang. I didn't get that part necessarily. But it was kind of funny. Again, I really liked MODOK. He's funny, and he was menacing when he needed to be. But he's just kind of a meme now, which I really like. I've posted some Avengers memes about him, and I'll get to that joke later on in the video. Yeah, Ant-Man, Wasp, all the ants, they come and charge the palace. Cassie gives a really cringy speech. I really wanted her to say Avengers Assemble at the end of that. That would have been really cool. That would have made the speech okay. But yeah, so then they come in. MODOK sacrifices himself and he does the whole hilarious scene. Like, Scott, you were always like a brother to me. And Scott's like, I was? because they were enemies before, they were like sworn enemies. That was pretty funny. He's like, well, at least I died an Avenger. And everyone just kind of like shakes their head like, yeah, I guess so. I mean, not really, but that was pretty funny. I mean, he was one of the original 7 Avengers. I mean, you've seen the images. He was there in the first Avengers movie, original Avenger. I'm telling you. So he dies. They go fight King. They succeed. I guess they beat him for now. And then they open the portal, right, to go back home. This is the problem, the biggest problem I have with this movie. They all go through. Scott's left behind. Ant-Man versus King. They fight it out. He's losing. And he's like, you're never going to win, Ant-Man. He's like, I don't have to win. We both just have to lose. And then Ant-Man still wins in the end. That's what I don't get. It would have been so much more monumental and such, like, it would have meant so much more if Scott got left behind. That would give Cassie a reason to start the Young Avengers with, like, She-Hulk and Miss Marvel and Peter Parker, all those guys. I can't remember all the names right now for the Young Avengers, but that's what it would have done. It would have been so much more monumental, but instead, he and Hope just go right back to Earth, like nothing happened, which I didn't like. And then King the Conqueror, the coolest guy in the movie, died. So I hope they have another King the Conqueror variant come in, because he should really be the big bad, not like some Egyptian king like we got the end credit scene. That would just be dumb. Come back, he has the whole monologue thing again where he's like, how are you here, Scott? You're ex-con, all that, yada, yada, yada. At the end, it was kind of funny, though, how he started like, did we actually beat him? Of course we won. I mean, he did say something bad was coming. So that was pretty cool. That was kind of funny. Now, I've seen a bunch of theories where they came into a different Earth when they came out of the quantum realm, which would be interesting. I think that'd be cool because it is the multiverse saga. But then there's another problem. If they did not come out of the Earth, they came back pretty much right when they came out, which is seriously bad because the quantum realm has different time. That's what I got frustrated with when I watched this movie. I was like, wait a minute, this should be like 5-10 years later, because Scott spent like 5 hours in there. That was like way more than 5 hours. It was a few days in the quantum realm. It should be like years later. I mean, it was already 5 years when he was in there for 5 hours. It should be like 10, 15 years later. Even if it wasn't 10, 15 years. If it was like 5 years again, 4 years, I would be okay with that. They come out, and this is what I'm thinking. They release Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. What they should have done, let's say this is Quantumania right now, right? They gotta release it way over here later in the timeline. Because then they could use it as a point where all the events happen, right? But they come out, and the war's already happening. Like, the Ant-Man comes out, and he sees Spider-Man and Falcon leading the Avengers, and he's like, what happened? And that's how the movie ends. It's a perfect plot point. So it starts over here, and then it comes out over here, and shows the events of what's happened with King. It gives, like, a good time jump, but it shows that all the other movies happen in between. I think that would have been cool, but, it is what it is, I guess. So the end credit scenes, let's talk about them. Council of King. Cool, I guess. I didn't love the 3 main variants. They just kind of looked weird, kind of goofy, honestly. So I hope we get more Conqueror variants. I think I did see a Conqueror variant in the credits. I kind of was, like, looking out for it. So that was good. Loki end credit scene. Season 2 Loki. Hyped. I originally did not like that show. I continued watching it. Loved it. One of my favorite MCU shows, if not my favorite. So that was cool. Mobius, back in action. First screen appearance. Very cool. And it just started pouring outside my house, so sorry if you can hear that. Yeah. Mobius, back in it. I really, really wanted him to say ka-chow. Like, what is this guy? He doesn't look super menacing. Let's bounce. Let's ka-chow. Or something like that where he uses it like totally normal, like a sentence. That would have been awesome. I would have loved that. But otherwise, pretty mid end credit scenes overall, I'd say. Overall, a solid addition to the MCU. Good start to Phase 5. It's like solid. It's not the best we've got, but it's not the worst we got. It's not Eternals or anything like that. It's just, middle of the road. It's like, I'm trying to give a good example. Like, like Spider-Man Far From Home, that's a good example. It's like, not the best, obviously. I mean, Spider-Man movie, it automatically is better, but it's still good. It's like Far From Home. It was not the best Spider-Man movie we've ever gotten. Probably toward the bottom in my opinion, but it was still good. This is probably, I don't know. I like all the Ant-Man movies, honestly. Ant-Man 2, it gets overhated. It's like a classic, like, down-to-earth story. Ghost was an okay villain. And then Ant-Man 1, obviously, it's one of my favorite movies, probably. Maybe top 15, maybe top 10. It's got the humor. Everyone understands this issue. Everyone noticed this when they finished the movie. They're like, wait a second. This movie was not as good as it could have been. No Luis. Yeah, I'm a little bit mad about it, guys. Luis is my favorite character, probably in the entire MCU, other than Spider-Man, of course. But no Luis in this movie. I don't get it. He could have been used in multiple different spots at the end of the movie. He could have got like a 2-second cameo like Wu did, which I was happy to. I was watching with my friend, like, hey, that's Wu. I was happy to see him. I like that character. He's really cool. But no Luis. Why, bruh? He is the best part. Even the whole gang, like that whole gang of the other two guys as well, it's just a staple in the Ant-Man movies. I think at the beginning of the movie he should have been in it. Or maybe when he was getting Cassie out of jail. That would have been cool. He and Cassie were there, and then he told the whole story of how Cassie got kidnapped, and like the bongos started playing, and then he started talking about it. That would have been awesome. Now, the only way I'm going to allow Luis not to be in this movie is if they, of course, are giving Luis his very own Disney Plus show, which they better. And it's him recapping the entire Infinity Saga, and then up to this point. So it'd be like, episode 1 would be like phase 1, episode 2 would be phase 2, phase 3, and then you get like 2 individual episodes for Infinity War and Endgame or something like that. And then phase 4 would be another episode. That would be awesome. Like, that'd be so good. A Luis TV show is my #1 wish from Marvel. I mean, forget Spider-Man and Miles Morales coming to the MCU, teaming up. Forget that. Forget Scorpion. Forget Venom. Any cool Spider-Man thing that I could want, because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Give me the Luis TV show. All I'm asking for, Marvel. Come on now. But other than Luis not being in the movie, I think it was pretty solid. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It was solid. As I've said so many times in this video, it was not the best we've gotten. It's not that bad either, though. People overhate on it because the critics said it was going to be bad. When had the critics ever been right? They said Eternals was good. What? While we're on the topic of critics, Thor Love and Thunder, we'll do a little quick hot take right now, was not that bad. It's pretty close to Ragnarok. Look, I loved Ragnarok, but Love and Thunder, it had the comedy, and I'm a comedy guy. That's kind of my thing. But that is my 100% honest review on Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Let's talk about the Lego side of it really fast. Ant-Man and the Wasp only got one set, and that was the action figure for Ant-Man. I believe it's going to be $30 with the micro figure Wasp. Incredibly disappointing. Come on, guys. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has not even come out yet. Got 3 Lego sets that are all pretty decent. Ant-Man and the Wasp, a decent movie as well. Only got 1 awful Lego set. No one's going to buy this. It's like worse than the other ones almost. We should have got like a life-size minifigure of anything, but we got another action figure. Like, come on, guys. We got a cool fight scene with Kang and MODOK, Ant-Man, Wasp, and Cassie. Like an end scene. There's a ton of mocks online. We didn't even get a MODOK character, and it's his first appearance in the MCU, and hopefully not his last. I hope we see some cool variants of MODOK. That'd be ideal. But the Lego side is just utterly disappointing for this movie. Each Ant-Man movie's got 1 set. The first Ant-Man movie got a really cool set with some good minifigures. There was one, the Hank Pym minifigure. I didn't even realize that was a thing until like 2 days ago. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Ant-Man and the Wasp 2, or not Ant-Man and the Wasp 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp had 1 Lego set, which was this one. I actually have it, the Quantum Explorer. Now, let's be honest, this isn't the best Lego set we've ever gotten, but it was at least a cool set. It came with both Ant-Man and the Wasp, my Wasp minifigure somewhere in there, and then I have the Ghost too. Should probably do a set review on this thing. That'd be cool, huh? Comment below if you want to see a set review on the Ant-Man 2 set that I have. But still, it was a good set. It was, I mean, it wasn't the best, but it came with the minifigures in the movie that we wanted. We haven't even gotten a new Ant-Man and Wasp suit yet. Wasp had her brand new suit in this movie for the first time, and we don't even get a minifigure. We get a micro figure of it, and we don't get a new Ant-Man suit either. We're stuck with this old one. Look at this cool modified minifigure I made. But still, it's frustrating. And we could have got a Kang minifigure. There's literally a whole Lego Marvel 2 is based on Kang the Conqueror. There's literally a minifigure in that game. We don't even have it in Lego form yet. We don't have a MODOK in Lego form yet, or Cassie, or Hank Pym, or a whatever Hope's mom name. I do not think we're gonna be getting those sets. The time has passed. The movie's out. Funko's already made their Funko Pops. They've already made their 1 Lego set. I don't think we're getting it, unfortunately. And with that, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. It was kind of like a rant review, I guess. And the LEGO side is, again, frustrating. But I hope you did enjoy. If you did, consider subscribing. Share with friends. This is mainly a LEGO channel. We took a little dive into the movie world today. I do enjoy movies. You can go check out another channel I have. It's talking about movies. I posted like 3 videos on there. It's just for fun when I'm bored and want to make a movie video. Maybe I'll put some more movie videos on here. With all that junk out of the way, I hope you have a great rest of the day. You're awesome. See you all in the next one.